Imagine a special place. A place of vibrant excitement. A place of enduring traditions. A place of great history. A place where a dynamic future is taking shape. Imagine Bahrain. Bahrain is a nation with a new vision of its future and an illustrious past. This scatter of islands is the cradle of civilization in the Gulf. Once the treasured pearls found beneath these waters were a key to Bahrain's prosperity. But it's also long been a crossroads for international trade, and its modern wealth came from being the first Gulf nation to discover oil. The region has long been a business destination, but is now seeing increasing tourism, and a wave of investment and enterprise is transforming Bahrain into one of the most secure and exciting of all Middle Eastern destinations.
Everybody in Bahrain is talking about change, and change is the theme in Bahrain today. This is going to take the country to a different level in the coming few years.
Bahrain is a welcoming place. Its traditions make it appealing for tourists. And thanks to the vision of King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and Bahrain's wise governance, it has a political stability that's attractive to business. It's the only real democracy in the Gulf region, and it's long used to welcoming the world. Today's visitors arrive across the causeway from Saudi Arabia and by air. Their destination is a country undergoing dramatic changes. Bahrain has a clear and dynamic vision of its future, with rich possibilities for those with the imagination to invest. Growth has a dynamic meaning in Bahrain. The country is literally getting larger, with new projects rising on vast areas of land reclaimed from the sea. Places like the Amwaj Islands, a new city on 4 islands near Muharraq and close to both the capital Manama and the airport. The Amwaj Islands will have hundreds of homes, shopping and restaurants, luxury hotels, a school, a theme park, a marina and more. One of its communities centres on a network of canals. Such innovation reflects a wider energy.
Bahrain is certainly opening up as a tourist destination, and Amwaj Islands will certainly contribute to that opening up with a number of beautiful 5-star hotels, and obviously some of the first truly beachfront hotels in Bahrain. As well as the economic boom that Bahrain is going through, real estate is seen as a very solid economic investment strategy now, as an alternative investment strategy, and Amwaj Islands is certainly at the forefront of that boom.
Further south and inland, another large-scale project is underway at Al Areen, where a long-established wildlife park is the focal point for a dramatic development.
There are many components in our Al Areen development. We truly feel that it will be an attraction to the visitors here. We were going to have world-class retail and shopping center. We will have more than one 5-star hotel facilities in the area. We will have luxury residential areas in Al Areen, as well as other leisure facilities that will really create a community that will be very attractive to the visitors.
Those seeking fun at El Ain can find it at a water park called the Lost Paradise of Dilmun. But the most luxurious element is the Banyan Tree Resort. The company has spas in many tourist destinations, but this will be the largest such resort in the Middle East.
Our continuous development of Banyan Tree is definitely focusing on the Middle East. On the Middle East area, yes, we know Bahrain is the financial hub. Bahrain is a new area which comes more and pops more up on the international circuit. We strongly believe with our product, as Banyan Tree shows their reputation, service, privacy, this is a spot where we should be.
And to the far south of the island, the largest project of all is taking shape. The Durat Al Bahrain will cover more land than the nation's capital. A unique deal helped it come about.
A project of the magnitude of Durat Al Bahrain will for sure require the cooperation of the private sector with the government. And this was an extremely good example of that sort of a cooperation. The private sector was willing to take the risk and bring forward all resources, and the government was so willing to bring every possible help to the table to make this a success.
Not content with building on dry land, the Durat spreads outwards onto 13 giant man-made islands. There'll be thousands of homes, hotels, hospitals, a yacht marina, offices, a water park, a golf course, and a huge amount of waterfront.
Durat Al Bahrain, in my view, is a global landmark, not a local landmark. Anybody looking at Durat Al Bahrain is seeing something that he has not seen in the past. And this is what makes Durat Al Bahrain a unique project.
The hand of welcome was extended to more than 5 million visitors to Bahrain last year, including over 1.5 million from beyond the Gulf region. Arab hospitality is legendary.
Very good, thank you.
There are many luxury hotels already. New ones are planned and others are expanding. The most deluxe is the Ritz-Carlton.
The Ritz-Carlton is very excited about what's happening in Bahrain. It's been a tremendous success, and as a matter of fact, the Ritz-Carlton is building a second hotel to anticipate that need. Beautiful hotel located right next door to the hotel, scheduled to open in 2008.
And alongside the growing choice of luxury accommodation, the cuisine on offer in Bahrain is equally cosmopolitan. Imagination goes into food drawn from all corners of the globe. But there are extra ingredients for success.
I think one of the nicest things in Bahrain is that a lot of thought and a lot of effort is put in to almost every restaurant. And we have amazing concepts here, such as the Blue Elephant, which is an international chain that has opened here, offering an excellent standard of food. And all of the restaurants here really do take the time to import their food, to bring in the freshest possible ingredients, because people in Bahrain have come to expect that. We expect a certain level of dining now, and with every year that passes we raise the bar a little bit.
What attracts visitors to Bahrain? Right now, Bahrain International Circuit is the nation's biggest magnet. 3 years on from its 2004 opening, it began the 2006 Grand Prix season.
Formula One is clearly well established here now. 400 million viewers watch the race. 45,000 people are in the circuit during the course of the Grand Prix. But importantly, we're now developing new races and new activities which are going to bring many, many more visitors to the Kingdom of Bahrain. One of the key areas of interest for people amongst the 398 events that we ran during 2005 is the establishment of Adventure Drive Arabia. Adventure Drive Arabia is the leading off-road 4x4 course of its kind anywhere in the world, and it's now attracting many, many people from all over the region who want to come and try their hand behind the wheel of a Hummer, or just have a bit of fun up and down the death-defying slopes that make up the 30 or 40 obstacles that we have on the course.
A more tranquil setting offers a different kind of driving. This is Rifa Golf Club. Since 1999, Bahrainis and growing numbers of visitors have been able to enjoy golf day and night.
The concept of the club was a tourism-driven initiative, so it was to attract tourists to Bahrain, but also for the club to survive and thrive as a business, we need to attract members also. So we have a semi-private club where we have members' activities, and we also welcome visitors very warmly to our club to take part in our club activities.
Soon, those who love golf will be able to live beside the club in the Rifa Views development, with nearly 900 new homes to be built on a reshaped landscape. Elsewhere, there are chances to encounter the fabled horses of the Arab world. But the sea is what has shaped Bahrain, making it an outward-looking nation. Today, the warm Gulf waters offer many attractions. Pearl diving, for instance. Bahrain is the only place in the world where visitors can go on organized dives in search of these treasures and keep them. Marine life is another attraction. There are ample opportunities to enjoy the Gulf waters, whatever your passion. Waters of a different kind made Ain Hadari Park a local leisure destination. Decades of Bahrainis have come here to swim. Now the pool will be the centerpiece of a wider project, with a museum, a theme park, shopping and other attractions.
This is just the right time for investing in such projects in Bahrain, supported by the direction of the government towards encouraging the tourism activities within Bahrain in order to make it a destination for the visitors and tourism industry in general.
For sightseers, Bahrain has historical sites encompassing 5,000 years of history. And if there's one thing that globetrotters do in the age of the mall, it's shop. Bahrain has a growing number of malls to choose from. Soon, one of the largest in the Middle East will open here. The city centre mall will include a theme park, hotels and movie screens, as well as hundreds of shops.
I think Bahrain at the moment got a good shopping experience, but what we are actually adding a modern shopping center which actually will have not just shopping, it will be entertainment and leisure at the same time. In my point of view, I think it will add an advantage to the shopping centers as it will actually attract more people into the country.
More traditional shopping includes objects made by the island's craft workers. Bargains galore can be found at the souk in Manama. But the glittering temptations of the gold market may cost a few dinars more. And at the end of any visit, there's a chance to shop at Bahrain Airport's award-winning duty-free shops. Bahrain is undergoing dramatic changes. Its position makes it an ideal place to do business in the region. Foreign investors are welcomed here, and there are many other incentives, economic and personal, for those wanting to operate here and for individuals to live and work in Bahrain. Many of those helping reshape Bahrain came from elsewhere and decided to stay.
Bahrain is special because of its safety, its culture, its beautiful weather, the people around, and an incredible place to come and visit and relax.
I think the cooperation of all the people, everyone is working together to make Bahrain a great destination for people to come and visit.
Bahraini are open-minded, very international. There is no problem about English. You can communicate. It is a safe country.
So many businesses are relocating to Bahrain, it's growing as a tourist destination, and yet it maintains that special charm, that special characteristic that makes Bahrain a unique country in this Gulf region.
Bahrain is imagining the brightest of futures and working to make it happen. These are some of Bahrain's youngest citizens, visiting a site that was once home to their earliest ancestors. Beneath Bahrain Fort lie the traces of a city created by the Dilmun civilization more than 5,000 years ago. History has reshaped Bahrain many times since those days. These young visitors also live in a time of historic change. They're members of the first generation that will come of age in a nation recently reborn as a democracy. The Kingdom of Bahrain is accelerating into a new future, just like these cars at Bahrain International Circuit's first major drag racing event. 3 years ago, His Majesty, King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, released the brakes and accelerated Bahrain's drive to modernization as a democracy. Bahrain has not looked back since. Across the nation, the signs of change are visible everywhere. Dramatic new buildings are rising. Whole areas are being renewed. New towns are being built. And innovative business ventures are underway. Everywhere the talk is of bright new possibilities. This is the financial harbour in Manama, the most dramatic example of this process of transformation. Intended as the Gulf's premier financial centre, its dual towers will be the tallest structures in Bahrain. Beneath their 53 floors will be a complex of homes, a shopping mall, a new stock exchange, an auditorium, and more. Today, a man with a soaring personal vision to match his nation's new ambitions is visiting the towers, getting a taste of Bahrain's highest place. Adnan Al-Qassab has already achieved fame after leading Bahrain's successful expedition to the South Pole 2 years ago. Now he has his sights set yet higher, and next year will lead Bahrain's first expedition to climb Mount Everest.
We are climbing Mount Everest because it's one of the most challenging mountains in the world, and because for the love of Bahrain and the king and the citizen of Bahrain, we are taking this challenge in our shoulder to show the world, as Bahrain citizen, we can, if we try our best, we can make it to the top.
Al-Qassab and his teammate will intensify their preparations early next year. They're spurred on by the new air of optimism in Bahrain. It's felt by everybody as Bahrainis become used to living in one of the few real democracies in the Arab world. For centuries, government in Bahrain was based upon the succession of its ruling family. But the journey to democracy began earlier in the 20th century. This is Sheikh Salman bin Ahmed Al Fattah Fort, a 19th century seat of government. Leading physician Dr. Isa Amin is also an expert on Bahrain's history.
Well, it has been now a century since the people of Bahrain struggled for freedom and democracy. There has been events for the last century where Bahraini people expressed their wish to participate and be part of the world enjoying the freedom and human right. It has been through the 20s until what you witness now, that's the transition period towards democracy. We live through a world whereby the communication through the media is fast and accurate, and Bahrainis, like any other people in the world, yearning and loving and struggling for freedom and democracy. I think this was behind the project of His Majesty the King when he introduced reform and democracy in Bahrain.
Bahrain may be a small nation, but has a long history of achievement. It's one of the oldest inhabited places in the Gulf, a center of civilization more than 5,000 years ago. It was also one of the first countries to embrace Islam, just 8 years after the Hijrah. And it was here in the 1930s that oil was first found in the region. Until that oil began to trickle into the economic veins of the country, life for many ordinary people had changed little for centuries. The main income had come from pearl fishing. In its heyday, 20,000 pearl fishermen worked these waters. Pearl fishing may now be history, but a new source of pride is Bahrain's transition to democracy. One man who well understands the workings of democracy is the government's information minister, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Ghaffar. Before becoming part of the government, he'd been Bahrain's UN representative and ambassador to the United States.
The most important thing that Bahrain gained from this process of reform, it's a process of democratization which started, and this process gives the Bahrainis a very significant opportunity for renewal and for change and for economic development and political development. I think that the reform process which has started in Bahrain and the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad, it really it showed that Bahrain can always, as history has been always, can renew itself and can create environment for innovation and development.
Bahrain's road to democracy began long ago, but the most dramatic steps on this journey came almost immediately after His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa succeeded his father as Emir in 1999. He began a period of dramatic transformation, built upon the strengths of the past. His Majesty understood that true social justice meant giving all citizens equal rights under the new constitution.
وكما أكدنا من قبل فإن الأمن أما أن يكون للجميع وإلا فلن ينعم به أحد، وذلك بحكم وحدة التفاعل والتأثير المتبادل بين أطراف عالمنا كله الذي لا يمكن أن يقبل اليوم أي تمييز أو ازدواج في المعايير أو استئثار بالرخاء والحرية والعدالة في جانب منه دون جوانبه الأخرى، غير أن هذا كله وأن تحملنا قسطا من المسؤولية حياله بلا تردد بحكم دور البحرين الرائد، فإن مسؤوليتنا الكبرى ستبقى دائما وأبدا مواصلة عملية البناء الوطني في الداخل دون انقطاع، ليس من أجل البحرين وحدها وإنما لخير منظومتنا العربية والإسلامية بل للإنسانية قاطبة.
Bahrain's transformation into a constitutional monarchy gained near unanimous support when put to the vote in a referendum. This was the key reform in the national charter, which included giving full political rights to women. Such is the depth of change that citizenship is now on the curriculum across Bahrain's growing number of schools. This is Salama, intermediate girls' school in central Manama. Today's lesson is about democracy.
Yeah, the first picture there, His Majesty King Hamad. What's going on in this picture? Yes, Noor?
He's holding up high the Bahrain National Charter.
The first elections were for the municipal authorities. The king emphasized the importance of everyone taking part.
فإنني أدعوكم إلى ممارسة حقكم الانتخابي الدستوري في الانتخابات البلدية بكل حرية ومسؤولية. هذا الحق الذي يمثل واجبا في الوقت ذاته، حيث لا ديمومة للديمقراطية إلا بممارستها، ولا تعميق لروح المواطنة إلا بالالتزام بها حقوقا وواجبات.
In October, further elections were held, this time to choose the 40 members of the Council of Representatives, with a second house formed of appointed men and women. It has made Bahrain into the most progressive democracy in the Gulf region. A leading international lawyer, Jan Paulsen, worked closely with the king as an advisor in preparing the constitution.
The most important thing to understand is that the Bahraini constitution was created in Bahrain by Bahrainis in the interest of the Bahraini people. But as that work came to a close, King Hamad asked me to study the constitution and to get the best international advisors that he could, not to alter the constitution, but to check that the constitution was in all ways in conformity with international norms of human rights. There are half a dozen conventions of the United Nations which have been subscribed to by Bahrain, and he wanted to be sure that this constitution in all ways was in conformity with universal principles. And when he did that, I realized that he was looking for a constitution which was not drafted in a way to suit him, but that was a constitution that obeyed appropriate principles, and it was a courageous thing to do.
The reforms offered other significant changes. Ownership of homes was made easier. His Majesty announced that all loans would be written off, at whatever stage people were in buying their homes. All political prisoners were freed, dissidents from overseas invited to return home, and trade unions were permitted. One of the most vital freedoms within a democracy is the right to speak openly. The key forum for this is the press, whose freedom is now guaranteed under the Constitution. Bahrain has 6 newspapers. Its oldest, Akhbar al-Khalij, founded in 1976. is edited by Anwar Abdul Rahman.
The beauty of democracy, I always call it a sword with the two edges. It cuts both sides, meaning that we have the right to write, but also the other side has the right also to pursue what we have written legally if we are wrong. This has created an era, a new era to all of us, that the papers will not be banned, that papers will not be stopped, that the readers will not be deprived from their paper, but the case can be taken to the court and the verdict of the judges actually will be the end of everything.
Akbar Al-Khalij will soon have further competition. Ibrahim Bashmi, a member of the Shura, plans a new title in early 2006.
أهم النتائج اللي وضحتها إحدى المؤسسات التي تهتم بحرية الصحافة بأن البحرين والكويت هما الدولتين المتقدمتين في منطقة الجزيرة العربية التي تتمتعان بحرية سياسية متقدمة جدا. من الملاحظ أن الآن اللي لاحظ خلال من تحولات الميثاق في البحرين حتى الآن بأن نسبة الحرية في مجال التعبير قد وصلت أنا أعتقد إلى حدود عليا، سواء من خلال كتاب الأعمدة الذين يكتبون آراءهم بكل حرية وبكل صراحة، أو من خلال التحقيقات والمقابلات الصحفية التي تقدم في البحرين.
Dr. Fakhriya Dairy is also a Shura member, one of 6 women appointed after the election produced an all-male lower house.
Democracy did a big change on women in Bahrain. I think we are very lucky people among the region to have democracy and to involve women in most of the political life. For example, women had opportunity to be a member of the parliament, women given opportunity to be a minister, to be a president of the universities, and also given opportunity to participate in election and to be for both for the parliament and for the municipality. So I think we are very lucky people.
Another woman given a chance to progress in the new democracy is the health minister, Dr. Nada Hafat. She's been working in the health service for years, but was appointed to the Shura and then made Bahrain's first female cabinet minister.
Well, the key health issues right now are chronic non-communicable diseases. We have passed the stage of infectious diseases as leading causes of death, but right now these diseases which cause death in most parts of the world, especially the developed countries, are the cardiovascular diseases, the cancer and the diabetes, hereditary blood diseases. And as you can see, these diseases are more difficult and challenging to reduce because they have to do with the behavioral pattern of people, the way they eat and the way they live their life, the physical activity, smoking habits. So this makes also their decision in choosing the right partner when they marry, so that the hereditary blood diseases get less and less by time. So these are our challenges. And of course, along with these challenges would be to further improve the services and to make the finance available in order to sustain those achievements.
Dr. Hafat is one of 2 women in the cabinet. She expects women to take an ever-increasing role in public life. Already, up to 30 are expected to run for election next year.
Now, when the society did not elect a woman in the elected chamber, His Majesty the King appointed 6 women to show the society, look, women can do a lot to serve the society at the legislative levels. And also in the cabinet, His Majesty the King and His Highness the Prime Minister have appointed 2 women so far as ministers. So these are all positive achievements for women in the country, but definitely we're looking forward for much more.
From healthy citizens to a growing economy, Bahrain is undergoing dramatic changes. Under the guidance of His Highness, the Prime Minister, it's enjoying ever greater economic success. Dr. Hassan Fakhro is the Minister of Industry and Commerce.
Democracy has enhanced the rule of law in Bahrain. It has reinforced the attractiveness of Bahrain and of the country for outsiders to come and for outsiders to invest. And transparency has played also a great role in, if you like, the speed that a lot of work in the economic field, in the commercial and industrial field has happened as a result of this democracy. And the results that we have in the last 2 to 3 years, year after year, shows the, if you like, the testimony to this democracy in the increase, in the substantial increase in investment and in economic activity in the land.
Other benefits of the changing economic climate are felt at shopping centres, like the nearly completed mall at Sitra, and here at the popular Seif Mall. They were once fully owned by the government, but economic reforms have meant 40% are now in public hands. Trade has always brought people from around the world to Bahrain. Today, it is an increasingly cosmopolitan nation. Tourism is a vital and growing business for Bahrain's future prosperity. Every year, thousands of visitors are welcomed from Saudi Arabia via the King Fahd Causeway. A new causeway to Qatar is also planned soon. Others come by air, both business people and tourists drawn by the many attractions the country has to offer. James Hogan runs Bahrain's state carrier, Gulf Air.
Gulf Air is regarded as one of the top 10 service airlines in the world. And one of our key ingredients is that welcome. In the Arab world, welcome to my home is so important. And when our guests come on board our aircraft, that same welcome is in our service proposition, whether it be our chef, whether it be our nanny, or cabin crew from 63 different countries, that can do, that focus on service, that welcome is so important. And we believe that reflects the nature of Bahrain as a country.
Work is underway to attract other visitors. The opening of the Bahrain International Circuit in 2004 attracted thousands to the Formula One event. Now the home for motorsport in the Middle East, it will host the opening event of the 2006 Grand Prix season.
I think Bahrain International Circuit acts as a hook for the Kingdom of Bahrain. With the Formula One race, we get viewership of 250 million people watching our kingdom, and I think that gets the attention here. Now, there are other factors and players that complete that picture, be it the Economic Development Board, the Financial Harbour, all of these elements that come together to complete what the Kingdom of Bahrain is. If we look at the circuit, we've got our traditions, we've got our wind towers, our tent-like structures, but we're a modern facility. I think that best describes the Kingdom of Bahrain. We're proud of our history, we're proud of our culture, but we're a modern kingdom.
It's hoped tourism will provide up to a third of Bahrain's income within a decade and help create employment for the growing population. Across Bahrain, many new homes are already being created. Some are on land reclaimed from the sea, projects such as the Durat Al Bahrain, with its luxury homes on an arc of 13 islands, and the Amwaj Islands, with homes and places for visitors. Other landmarks, such as the Bahrain National Monument, are also taking shape. The new National Library in Manama, and the Sheikh Khalifa bin Salman International Port. Increasingly, visitors come here to do business, and many financial and business institutions have made this their base for the region. With such growth underway, an increasingly skilled workforce is vital. Bahrain University, the kingdom's oldest, has long been preparing young people for top jobs. Its largest department is the business school, with more than 5,600 students. Dr. Ahmed Kelleher is the head of Management and Marketing Studies.
Here in the University of Bahrain, College of Business, we try our best actually to prepare our students to be future managers and future leaders, and try to provide the economy with all the talents and skills we need in Bahrain in order to improve our economic development and to ensure our position as a financial harbor not in the region but also in the international level as well.
Bahrain is now a country increasingly at ease with itself and the world. The citizens have a developing sense of pride in their homeland.
هذا يخلينا نحس ان المجتمع او الحكومه بنفسها قاعده ترعانا. فهذا الشيء يجعلنا احنا نكون فخورين بالمجتمع البحريني.
انا افتخر اني بحرينيه لان اهل البحرين يمتازون بطيبهم وسماحتهم بين يعني جميع دول الخليج. طبعا كذلك اللي هو بفضل قيادتها الرشيده والحكومه طبعا اللي هو تسعى الى الديمقراطيه والانفتاح والمساواه بين الناس، فهذا يعني كل هالاشياء تخليني افتخر ان انا بحرينيه.
الحمد لله نعمه الامان هاي اهم النقاط، وبعدين في اشياء ثانيه مثل الاستقرار، الانفتاح، الديمقراطيه، هاي عده اشياء يعني تخلينا نشعر ان احنا مواطنين وفخورين بهاي الوطن.
One obvious source of pride is its new status as a democracy. Today, any ordinary Bahraini citizen can visit the building that houses the National Assembly. This group of school children have been seeing the nation's elected MPs at work. This is democracy in action, but it's also an evolving thing.
Democracy is not a set rule and it offers nothing. It is a challenge. It depends on the people how they perceive democracy. It is true, it preserves the human aspiration for self-development and self-freedom, but also it demands sharing, cooperation, compromise for a better cause, for a common cause. It also asks the people to be loyal to a nation more than to a tribe, a group, or a sect. It means also a practice of freedom of speech and allowing the others also to express their opinion.
Most people would understand, most thinking people would understand that constitutional reform does not change the society overnight. The society is what it is with its culture, and it has to be influenced over quite some period of time. But you have to take some dramatic steps from time to time for change really to start in a society, and such a change occurred in Bahrain with this new constitution without any doubt. It's something which can create fear in the hearts of people who are used to holding power without being criticized. Well, they have to get used to it because it's in the interest of the common citizens that those in power are accountable, and that is what you achieve with this constitution. But also for the citizens, it's important to exercise freedom in a responsible way. Freedom doesn't mean that now I have the right to take away somebody else's right. The idea is to work constructively together for the common good, and that takes maturity. So a piece of paper, even as good as the Bahraini constitution, doesn't change that overnight, but it's a tool in the good road to working toward those ideals.
The Bahrainis gained a lot from the reform process. In fact, this process is a continuous process, but several things that human rights, labor unions, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, all these things I think we need to be, or we need to institutionalize these concepts in practice, because without institutionalizing these things, the democracy will not be very strong. And I'm sure that the Bahraini people will institutionalize these things gradually in the coming years.
Bahrain in 2005 is a country that is many things. A place that welcomes visitors from around the world and does business globally, but that also preserves a great heritage. Bahrain has many reasons to celebrate life today, and its citizens now look forward to many bright tomorrows. Its sources of pride are many. Today's young people will soon inherit a country that is very different from that of their parents, thanks to the dynamic vision of King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. He emphasizes that the deepest values must remain constant.
المبادئ الأساسية من روح وطنية ومن أخلاق ومن دين هذه كما هي، ولا أقدر أطلب الحقيقة المزيد، لأن أهل البحرين يعني أصبح يعني هم مثل ما بينت لكم من شوي، هم بخدماتهم الكبيرة على الرأس، والصغير منهم واللي معاكم واللي يريد له تربية وكذا ما في له مكان إلا الحضن. وهذا الحقيقة اللي إن شاء الله احنا وياكم نسير عليه في تربية أبنائنا وأجيالنا القادمة.
Bahrain has many resources, but as His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa has always realized, its greatest asset is its people. And now, for the first time in its history, they're playing a central role in defining its future course. Democracy is the key that is unlocking the door to a new Bahrain for the 21st century.